Hello students, our next topic is LC oscillation circuit, that is topic number 7.8 LC oscillation. Now this oscillation is similar to the oscillation we did in standard 11th, that was a mechanical oscillation. We have studied the oscillation of a pendulum. Then you have also studied a damped oscillation. Now how this circuit exhibit the phenomenon of LC oscillation, why it is named as LC oscillation. Now we know that a capacitor and inductor store energy in the form of electrical energy and the magnetic energy. So this we know that capacitor and inductor store electrical energy and magnetic energy respectively. So this is the use of a capacitor and the inductor. Now capacitor store energy in the form of electric field and the inductor store energy, magnetic energy in the form of a magnetic field lines or magnetic field. Now when the capacitor is fully charged, so initially you have to charge a capacitor fully, and that capacitor is connected to a inductor. So as a result, this circuit exhibits the phenomenon which is known as LC oscillation. So initially a fully charged capacitor is connected to an inductor. So the charge in capacitor and the current in the circuit. Now this circuit is an LC circuit. So as soon as we connect a fully charged capacitor with an inductor, so initially a fully charged capacitor is connected to an inductor. So the charge in capacitor and current in circuit exhibit the phenomenon of LC oscillation. So it exhibits the phenomenon of oscillation similar to the mechanical oscillation or oscillation of any system which is mechanically oscillated, that is a simple pendulum. Let us take an example of a simple pendulum. So in this circuit, at t is equal to 0, that is initially, so at t is equal to 0, the capacitor is fully charged. So Q is equal to Qn. So initially a capacitor which is fully charged, so this is plus and this is minus. This capacitor is now fully charged by some external means, say by a source of electromagnetic, by the source which is a cell or a battery. So we connect this capacitor having the maximum charge on it to be Qm. Now this capacitor is connected to an inductor. So let us consider this point A and B across inductor. Now as soon as this capacitor which is fully charged is connected to an inductor, the charge on capacitor start decreasing, and the charge, or because the current will start flowing in the circuit now, the energy start building up, or the energy is stored in the inductor. We assume that energy here is not dissipated in the form of heat. So if a capacitor is fully charged, in the end we will see that initially when the capacitor is fully charged, that is an electrical energy, so that formula will be equal to half Qm square by C. This is the condition at T is equal to 0. So capacitor is fully charged and an inductor have 0 current. Now as soon as you connect or you complete this circuit, the energy of the capacitor start decreasing because the charge on the capacitor decreases. Now the current in the circuit start increasing. So this is the direction of the current. So current in the circuit start increasing. So at T is equal to 0, the capacitor is fully charged. So Q is equal to Qn. Now when an inductor of inductance L is connected, the charge on capacitor start decreasing and current I in circuit start increasing. So the current in the circuit start increasing. We take our current as small I because it is an instantaneous current. The value will keep on changing. So the charge is decreasing, correspondingly the current is increasing. So our electrical energy, which was initially stored in a capacitor in the form of electric field, is converted into the magnetic energy. Now here the current is increasing, so here di by dt is positive, that is change in current with respect to time. So change in current means final current minus initial current. What was the initial current? So you have to remember also this, at T is equal to 0, the current in the circuit is 0 because at that time the circuit was not completed. So di by dt is positive. So VA is greater than VB, that is potential of point A is plus and this is minus. Now let us take a instantaneous current and the charge. So let Q be the charge on capacitor at any instant and I be the current in circuit at any instant, say T. So now the charge on the capacitor, which was initially Qm, start decreasing and the current in the circuit start increasing. Now we apply the Kirchhoff's second law to the loop. So applying Kirchhoff's second law to the loop, that is summation of V or summation of EMF should be equal to 0. So here the voltage across the capacitor is Q by C, which was maximum initially, and this potential difference across inductor, that is minus L di by dt, is decreasing. So we take a minus L di by dt. So initially the potential difference across capacitor was maximum. When inductor is connected, its potential start decreasing. So we have subtracted the sign. Or you may also take the Kirchhoff law. Suppose I start from this point, I am moving in the direction of current. So if I am moving in the direction of current, I write minus L di by dt. Then I come across a negative terminal. So on that side I will write minus Q by C. That Q by C is taken to this side. So this is how you apply the Kirchhoff law. Or we know the summation of the potential difference or the summation of EMF in the circuit is 0. So this is our equation number 1. Now let us talk about the current I in the circuit. So now I is equal to minus dq by dt. Now what does negative sign indicate here? See, the charge in the circuit or the charge on the capacitor start decreasing. So change in charge, that is final charge minus initial charge. So final charge on the capacitor will be less as compared to its initial charge, because initially it was fully charged. So this minus sign indicate that the charge in the circuit is decreasing and correspondingly the current is increasing. So I is equal to minus dq by dt. Here negative sign indicates that the charge is decreasing. The charge is decreasing. So we substitute this value. So q by c plus L dq d square q by dt square, that is the double derivative of charge with respect to time. So rearranging or rewriting this equation, this is q upon LC is equal to 0. Now see, this is the differential equation, and this differential equation is similar to the differential equation of a simple harmonic motion. So this system will perform oscillation. The charge will oscillate, or the charge and the current will oscillate between capacitor and the inductor. So this is called as a differential equation of LC oscillation circuit. Here equation 2 is called differential equation of LC oscillation circuit in terms of Q. Now if we compare this equation with the general equation of the simple harmonic motion, so comparing equation 2, now we know the differential equation of simple harmonic motion was d square y upon dt square, that is double derivative of displacement with respect to time, plus omega naught square y is equal to 0, where omega naught was the angular frequency of the system. Now if I compare this equation, y is equal to q. So whatever role was played by the displacement in the simple harmonic motion, same role is played by q. It oscillates between c and L. So comparing this equation, we get omega naught square is equal to 1 upon LC. So omega naught is equal to 1 upon under root LC. So if this circuit is oscillating, its angular frequency is equal to 1 upon under root LC, and omega is equal to 2 pi f. So I can find out the frequency of this LC oscillation circuit also. So this is mathematically it has been proved that when a fully charged capacitor is connected to an inductor, the charge decreases and the current in the circuit increases, or in other words, the electrical energy which is maximum, it start decreasing. So electrical energy will be converted into the magnetic energy, and now if we assume there is no loss, then again the magnetic energy should be converted into the electrical energy, assuming there is no dissipation of heat or there is no losses, which is an ideal situation. So in an ideal situation, this circuit oscillates continuously, but the energy decreases, because you will see that the radiation is emitted or the energy is converted into an EM radiation. So that we will see in the coming chapter, that is an electromagnetic wave. So this circuit is generally used in the transmitter of the electromagnetic waves. Now if this is the differential equation of this circuit, we should have the solution of this equation. Here solution means we should find out the value of q, so that if I do the double derivative of q and substitute here and the value of q here, LHS should be equal to RHS. So let us see what is the solution of this equation number 2, that is the differential equation of LC oscillation circuit. Now let us find out the solution of this differential equation. Now we know that the charge will oscillate between C and L. So Q should be the function, or it should vary sinusoidally. Here Q varies sinusoidally. So either it should be a function of sine or cosine. Now we know that at t is equal to 0, the charge on the capacitor was maximum. So at initial value is maximum. So Q should be taken as the function of cosine. So Q is equal to Qm cos of omega naught t plus phi. Here phi is phase constant. Here we call phi as a phase constant. So the Q is varying sinusoidally, means the Q is a function of cosine. Now let us find out the value of this phase constant. So at t is equal to 0, we know that Q is equal to Qm. Therefore Qm is equal to Qm. So we substitute t here as 0. So cos of phi. So t is equal to 0. Qm is cancelled. Therefore cos of phi is 1, and therefore phi is equal to 0. It means Q is a function of, so Q is equal to Qm cos of omega naught t. So this equation 3 is called the solution of this equation. See, you do the double derivative of this, that is the first derivative cos, you get minus sine, then sine again derivative is cos, so you get minus cos again. So you keep that value here, and q value also directly you keep here, so you will get answer 0. So here we have taken the phase constant, but that phase constant comes out to be 0. It means clearly the charge on the capacitor initially was maximum. So we draw a graph of a charge. So that is Q versus T here. So the cosine, it should be a cosine graph. So this is the situation. This value is Qm. This is the maximum value. Now as soon as the circuit is completed, the current start flowing in it. Current start flowing in it. So current start increasing. So the charge start decreasing here. Now we have written I is equal to minus dq by dt. Therefore I is equal to derivative of this. So derivative of cosine is minus sine. Minus minus becomes plus. So it becomes Qm omega naught sine of omega naught t. That is the derivative of cos is minus sine, minus minus is positive, then omega naught t. So omega naught is multiplied here. This is the maximum value of the current. So I is equal to Im sine of omega naught t. So charge is a function of cosine and the current is a function of sine. It means as this value decreases, this value increases. So this is maximum. So initially the current is minimum. Then when the charge becomes minimum, that is the capacitor is fully discharged. So initially the capacitor was fully charged. Now it is fully discharged. Then the current becomes maximum here. Then when the charge, now we will see that after 180 degree the polarity will change. So this this plate will become positive, this plate will become negative. So the direction of the current will reverse after the half cycle that we will discuss now after this solution. So I is equal to minimum now. Then it is minimum, so we have maximum. So this is the graph of, so this is maximum value, we have this minimum, we have this value as maximum. So it is a function of sine. This is a function of sine, and this value is your In. So this is the graph of Q, this is the value graph of I. One is a function of cosine and other is a function of sine. So this is the solution. Equation 3 is called as the solution of this differential equation for LC oscillation circuit. So this was a mathematical treatment of this LC oscillation circuit. Now with the help of diagram, let us see how the conversion of the energy take place, how the electrical energy is converted into magnetic energy and vice versa, and why it is called as LC oscillation. Now let us see the pictorial representation of LC oscillation circuit. So initially here the circuit is incomplete, that is key is open and our capacitor is fully charged. See, we have derived the equation that Q is a function of cos and I is a function of sine, and correspondingly we have drawn the graph. So now we can compare or try to understand this diagram with the help of the equation or graph, or we have taken the mechanical system of the spring. So in standard 11th we have studied about the stretching and the compression of a spring, and we have derived an expression for the elastic potential energy. So that system is drawn below this diagram. So initially when the capacitor is fully charged, the energy in the form of electric field is maximum, that is Qm square by 2C, and the magnetic energy is 0 because the circuit is not completed. Now you compare this situation with a system of a spring with whose one end is connected to a rigid support and another end is connected with a block. So it is a fully stretched. So we have stretched this block. So the spring is stretched, and we know that the elastic potential energy in this spring stored is half Ka square, where A was the maximum amplitude and the kinetic energy is 0. So this is our initial situation, a fully stretched spring. So when we stretch it, the energy is stored in the form of an electric potential energy. So this is diagram, initial situation. Now you can also see its mathematical portion. T is equal to 0. Now you substitute T equal to 0 here. So Q is equal to Qm, which indicate that a charge is maximum. Or I substitute T is equal to 0 here. So current is 0, sine 0 is 0. Or you compare it in the form of angle. So theta is 0. So this omega naught T itself is theta, that we have studied in AC generator also. So this cos 0, again it comes out to be 1, and sine 0 comes out to be 0. So you take the help of the time or theta for this equation, and or you see this graph. So this is how we started. The charge is maximum and the current is min. Now the circuit is completed. Now we have taken the interval of T by 8, or in the terms of angle 45 degrees. So what happened at 45 degree? So in that situation, mathematically you see, check, substitute this cos 45 sine 45. It means the energy stored in capacitor is equal to the energy stored in a inductor. Means if a capacitor have 5 joule energy at this point, or at this time, you say the time T by 8, or at theta is equal to 45 degree, the energy is equally stored, that is half. So you see this, U is not equal to 0, K is not equal to 0. If we want to find out its value, you substitute cos 45, so it becomes 1 by root 2, I, it becomes 1 by root 2. You can substitute this value. So there will be half energy will be stored in the form of electric field, and half energy will be stored in the form of magnetic field. See, the magnetic field lines built up here, the magnetic field lines was 0. And what is the situation here? Now we have released the fully stretched spring. So the block which was fully stretched is now released, and this line indicates its mean position. This was the extreme position, this is the mean position, so it is intermediate. The body is between the mean and the extreme position. So this is the situation. Now you come to the situation where theta is 90. Now when theta is 90, cos 90 is 0, sin 90 is maximum. So the current in the circuit is maximum. So see this, the magnetic field lines has increased. The capacitor is now fully discharged. The current in the circuit becomes maximum at T/4 or theta 90. Now the electrical energy becomes 0, and the magnetic energy stored in the inductor, we know it is half Li square. So half Lim square, because it is maximum. In this situation, when it comes to the mean position, so it was extreme position, intermediate position, at 90 degree it comes to its mean position, the potential energy becomes 0, and it will not stop here, so its velocity at the mean position is maximum. We know in the simple pendulum oscillation also the velocity at the extreme position is 0, and at the mean position it is maximum. So this is the mean position. So see, there are many different ways to understand the LC oscillation. Either if you don't want this diagram, you can substitute the time t0, t is equal to t/8. So we know omega can be written as 2 pi by capital T. So t/8, t/4, 3t/8 or t/2. This is half cycle is shown here. So this is this half cycle. So this is initial 0. Then we have this position as 90 degree. So one intermediate position, that is 45. This is 90, means we are here now. We are on this point 90. This is the 90 degree. Now at 90 degree, clearly from the graph also the current is maximum. So whenever the current is maximum, the entire electrical energy is converted into the magnetic energy. Now again we take some intermediate position. So we have taken in the terms of degree the 45 degree difference, or in the terms of time, now it is 3t/8. Now the spring is compressed, is getting compressed. So fully stretched, intermediate, mean position. Now the direction is reversed. So we have stretched the spring in the x direction. Now the spring is coming, or the motion is in the negative x direction. So again the electric field will start building up, and now you check the polarity. The polarity is getting reversed. The polarity is getting reversed here. So initially this intermediate position, see, plus minus, here we have the polarity of the plate has started changing. The direction of the current is still the same because it was maximum. Now the current is decreasing. So this is the situation somewhere at this point. So this was 90 degree, this is 135, and then we come across this 180 degree. So this is a current. So charge is again somewhere intermediate position, then it will become maximum again. So the magnetic field lines, number of magnetic field lines are decreasing. Again intermediate position. So U is not equal to 0, UB is not equal to 0. So it is again equally shared if it is 135 degree, because again it will come out to be 1/√2 value. However, one will be positive, one will be negative. So the spring is now getting compressed. Now this is fully compressed spring. So that is the case opposite of this. So if this is the opposite case, you see the electric field intensity or the electric energy is again maximum, that is half Ka square. Energy is a scalar quantity, so there is no question of plus and minus sign. We have a square of amplitude. So again the energy will become Qm square by 2C, that is the energy is maximum at this point. Again the charge is maximum. So you see 180 degree, charge is maximum, current is minimum, and if we proceed further, now the polarity of the capacitor is change. So you see, compare it with first diagram. So we have upper plate positive, now we have a lower plate positive. So the direction of the current, which was initially the clockwise, now the current will become anti-clockwise as you proceed further. So after every half cycle, the polarity of the capacitor changes. That is fully charged capacitor. So this is fully charged capacitor. Intermediate position, capacitor is discharged. Intermediate position, the capacitor is again fully charged, but its polarity is changed. We have discussed the charging and the discharging of the capacitor in one lecture of JEE. So that is how this charging and discharging state take place. So the energy is converting from electrical to magnetic, then magnetic to, again here the electrical energy will be equal to half Qm square by C. So at T is equal to 0, the electrical energy is equal to half Qm square by C. And at any time, the total energy of the system will remain equal to half Qm square by C, because energy can neither be created nor destroyed. So if we assume the capacitor as 5 joule at T is equal to 0, inductor will have 0. At some intermediate position, suppose this have 3 joule, then this will have 2 joule. Then for example, this will have 2.5 joule, this will also have a 2.5 joule. So one is increasing, the other is decreasing. So this is how the energy conversion take place. Again, at this point, you can see the graph of 135 degree, the current is decreasing. Again, this start decreasing, it starts increasing, and at the end again the polarity is changed, but the total energy always remains constant. So in LC oscillation circuit, the total energy is always equal to half Qm square by C. Now if there are no losses in the circuit, this oscillation will continue. So this is the mathematical treatment of LC oscillation circuit, as well the pictorial representation of the LC oscillation circuit. In the next lecture, again we will discuss about some losses. There are some losses in the circuit. This is an ideal situation. We assume that this block or this springs block system will keep on oscillating, but actually it is a damped oscillation. After the few time or after few interval, this oscillation die down, but energy is neither created nor destroyed. So this energy is not dissipated in the form of heat. This energy is emitted in the form of electromagnetic radiation. So this circuit is widely used in the transmitter circuit, where the electromagnetic waves are transmitted in the surrounding or in the atmosphere. So we will discuss about the loss of this circuit and how to compare the different physical quantities of the mechanical system and the electrical system. We already know, or we have discussed, that the role of L was played by the mass in the mechanics. Clearly Im square, here we have Vmax square. So the role of current is played by the velocity. The role of Q was played by the amplitude there, that is the maximum displacement on either side of the mean position. So we have here K, a spring constant. So we will compare these two equations and we will write the analog of the mechanical system and the electrical system. So comparing mechanical system with the electrical system, that we will discuss. We will also discuss about the loss in the circuit. We will also discuss the total energy of the system at any instant always comes out to be half Qm square by C. So 1-2 illustrations are there, and then in the end of the chapter we will discuss about the transformer. Have a nice day.